back to life. Don't you know if the morals of a people can be manipulated? If the morals of a people can be manipulated, those who manipulate your morals master you. Those who manipulate your morals have complete control of your life. Those who manipulate your morals decide your future. You don't have any destiny within your own control if your life is decided by those who manipulate your morals. Because once you're morally corrupt, you're rationally blind. There's no such thing as moral corruption and rational vision. When you're morally corrupt, you're rationally blind. You can follow the logic of Einstein, the logic of any philosophers, but if you're morally corrupt, that logic is just a blunder. You can't use it. You can't follow the direction. You can't get the intelligence out of the use of that logic because your eyes are blind. So you think you're living a logical life when you're living an illogical life. When you look at this society today, do we see a logical life? We see a life of ignorance. We see a life of confusion. A life of conflicting values and conflicting moral and principles, and also rational principles. Rational principles don't agree. Moral principles don't agree. The society is ignorant by any good judgment. By any good judgment, the society is ignorant. But if we survive Muslims and keep our hearts and faith, heart and faith where it should be, and that is in Qur'an, and follow the example of Prophet Muhammad, why is it so necessary to follow him as an example? Because human beings are inclined to be arrogant. They're inclined to be self-independent, inclined to be important, self-important. And we have to follow a mortal human being who lived the life of respect and faithfulness to God and carried out his duty and discharged it, even though it was against himself, even though it was against his real relatives. He said, it's my daughter, Fatima. Steal something, I'll cut her hand off. Yes. He didn't compromise. He didn't compromise his mission for nothing. He was a human being. And yet he was so kind and sympathetic. He would share his little morsel of food with others who didn't have anything to eat. While his own stomach was hungry, he would share the little morsel of food. Prophet Muhammad, example of what he should be, sleeping on his mat. He awakened, and those who saw the prints of his thin mat in his back, the rough thing on the ground had pushed bits in his back because his bedding was so thin. So his wife, I believe, he suggested that he have a more comfortable bedding. He should grant to him a more comfortable bedding. He refused it. He refused it. When he was offered the more comfortable things of this world, how did he put them off? He put them off by saying, I'm in this world only as a traveler. I stopped under the shade of a tree. This is not the end of my hope. If this is the end of my hope, then I want everything you can give me. But this is not the end of my hope. I hope to meet God. I hope to be in his presence. I hope to have the Jannah. I hope to have the afterlife. Yes, this is temporarily. And my duty in this is not to erect this. My duty in this is to see that justice is done for everybody. And if I have too much, what about the man over there? How can I lie down on this comfortable bed and so many of them are getting that with prints in their back? Now this time that we live in is not that future. But still we have to respect the example that Prophet Muhammad set. Today I came to you with nice shoes. I have some patriotism. They were given to me by Brother Clyde Rockman, Imam of Cleveland. And he told me, he said, I know you don't like expensive taste. I like expensive taste. I don't like too much, but I like moderate expensive taste. I like quality. So he said, I know you don't like expensive. I didn't say nothing. I said to myself, you don't know. Then he said, but these shoes didn't cost that much for him, man. He said, I get these shoes wholesale. He said, and this shoe is irregular. So I get it at a good discount. So I took the shoes. He gave me 2 pairs, a pair of black and a pair of brown. There was a young brother in Chicago who doesn't have a job, who struggles for the cause of Allah, but he gets a job and without a job. You know how some people, not because they're lazy, it's because they have their mind on something else and they won't devote themselves fully to their job. Now, since he's not married, he can get shoes somewhere. Because he has nobody but himself. So he was walking around in the wintertime with gym shoes. So I gave him the black pair. They fit him. I was so happy to know that they fit him. I gave him the black pair, but I still got the brown pair. And I was wondering, I said, Brother Muhammad, when he was offered the better lot, who would do? I was offered the better shoes and I accepted it. Well, Allah forgives me. And if everybody wants those shoes, you give me yours, I give you those. So I'll put them right out there. All praise is due to Allah. Dear beloved Muslims, society needs knowledge, but almost just as important, they need a leader. Society needs a leader who can carry that knowledge, who can believe it, who can be trusted with that knowledge. A leader who can meet the demands of that knowledge on the human being. And that's what Muhammad is to us. He is the example, he is the leader who brought the knowledge for the full challenge of life. The other prophets, they got knowledge for part of the challenge of life. So Muhammad received the knowledge for the full challenge of life. He was a soldier. He was a leader of government. He fought in the battles. He was a husband. He cleaned the house. He helped his wife at home. He helped raise his children. He was a father. He was a husband. He was a soldier. He was a great government leader. He was an economist. He was everything that a human being has to be in order to keep society going. He was a businessman even before he became the messenger of God. He was a businessman, conducting some business, going about doing commerce. Yes, this is the full man, bringing just the message for the full life, not for his people, for all people.